Back in 2019, when we founded the Pennsylvania Roller Coaster Club, we were dedicating ourselves to be able to go out and live life, to be outside, to go travel, visit different theme parks and amusement parks, and ride the best roller coasters that this country has to offer. Last year, we decided to create a channel to share our experiences and to share our love for these parks and these roller coasters. Along the way, I've been on quite a few, and this video in particular is to highlight number 500. So along the way, I've hit a couple stinkers. I've hit a few disappointments. Number 100 ended up having to be Dominator because I-305 was closed at King's Dominion. Number 200, Superman Ride of Steel at Six Flags America. I mean, my goodness, tons of straight track, and it wasn't even over water like the original. Number 300, Jersey Devil Coaster at Six Flags Great Adventure. It was a very painful experience for me. Number 400, Ghost Rider was closed, so I had to settle for the newly reopened Accelerator. So what did I do for 500? They say go big or go home, so sit back and watch a grown adult man get way too excited about a roller coaster.
Well, here we are, destination number 500. Well, not destination number 500, but the destination and location for my number 500th United States roller coaster, and that is none other than Excalibur at Funtown, Splashtown, USA, in Saco, Maine. Going to be the first time I've ever ridden a roller coaster in the state of Maine, and I actually believe we'll ride a few today. This should be pretty awesome and pretty entertaining. After a discussion with their PR team throughout the course of the week to be able to make this happen for number 500, I was informed that it underwent its most extensive retracking to date in the off season. So they were super excited to be able to facilitate making Excalibur number 500. So big thanks to the PR team. Well, let's go get some.
I think one of the most impressive things about this park is they really utilize their land well. There is not too much wasted space. If it's not something to help you get around the rides or ride the rides or enhance the experience of the rides, it's not there. They are very, very efficient when fitting things in. And I mean, you can see, a lot of this is just plopped down over top of concrete, but they still manage to find a way to make it look, like an old-timey theme park, to really try to immerse you in being somewhere that you're not. I mean, because let's face it, it's not like this is a world-class theme park or world-class amusement park, but they find ways. I mean, heck, Kennywood took out their old classic cars, but somehow Funtown Splashdown in Maine, not only do they have theirs running and operating, but they're in amazing, pristine condition, and the driving course is outstanding. So, just little surprises like this all through.
Yes, that is a log flume. Yes, that says get change here. Yes, those were water cannons. And yes, you can pay to shoot people just like the old days.
When you get to the back section of the park, it is borderline overwhelming theming in the immersion that you have back here. It's like they're taking you into the forest to go back to Camelot, and it is really, really cool how they have this entire section of the park dedicated to putting you into this experience. And the landscaping back here is beautiful as well. Nice little gift shop to the left, as you see. But this entire experience up here, really otherworldly.
Isn't this one of the coolest entrances to a wooden coaster?
Yeah, I was thinking the same.
Yeah, I mean, right here, the attention to detail, uh, just this view right here, seeing the castle, all the multicolored flags, you have the train, it's all decorated, sitting in the station, you have your wrought iron gates to protect the castle at your entrance, the whole thing. I mean, look at this. So
We just had our very first ride. We went second to back row so that we could get on the first train that we had walked up to. What did you think? Nobody comes up here and rides this thing, so no one wants to talk about it. But probably a pretty good reason to make a trip up to Maine. It's beautiful. The park is really nice. It's much nicer than I expected. And they really went all out in theming to try and give you some immersive feel up here in Maine. You hear Excalibur running above us right there. But the retracking work that they did, phenomenal job. It's not rough at all. The laterals are intense. The airtime pops. A couple great head chopper moments. I can't wait to marathon this thing here for the next hour before we head out. But what an experience to make Excalibur Funtown Splashtown USA my number 500 United States coaster credit. And it's been a crazy last couple years, but I would not change it for the world. This has been such a thrill to be able to travel all over the country with my loved ones and be able to experience new things in new places. What a gift. What a gift. If you get this opportunity, or you can create this opportunity for yourself, please take advantage of it. And in the meantime, you may not be able to get to 500, but start at 20, go to 50, move to 100. Just travel. Go out and see this beautiful country and ride all the great roller coasters that we have to offer here.
in terms of the theming, you can see the inside of the station. Really well done. And the train, each individual row is dedicated to a different Knight of the Round Table, which is really cool. The Heritage House of Gifts here, they had some really cool merchandise in there. Probably, if I were them, I would reinvest in some good designs and t-shirts and some merchandise for Excalibur. I think they would sell more of them if they had them. The majority of what they had there was embroidered and a little heavier and more expensive. Probably not the merch that people are necessarily looking to buy for this coaster whenever they come up to visit, in my opinion. Now, where I'm standing for this piece of footage is right next to my car, right in the parking lot. You get to park right next to this beautiful CCI, and it was a tremendous experience, and one that Kristen and I will both remember for quite some time. But now I want to talk about the ride experience, because I think that it is very important to mention the ride experience. So you begin the ride climbing this 100-foot lift hill. And once you get to the top and you pass the infamous CCI flags, you hit that little pre-lift section where you disengage from the chain itself. And this is very similar to kind of like what you would get on Outlaw Run. And the first drop, being profiled at 58 degrees max angle, is actually the second steepest max angle first drop ever made by CCI, second only to Boulder Dash. Now, as you go into that second airtime hill, you are really cruising. And the head chopper moments that you're provided from some of that overhead scaffolding, in the moment when I was riding it, it kind of felt... as you see another moment here, it kind of felt the way that El Toro provides you those head chopper moments, because those moments of airtime are not super ejector, but they are wonderful pops to accentuate the head choppers. So very similar in that regard. And these laterals that you're seeing on screen, they are intense and smooth thanks to the new track work. And then finally, you go ahead and you hit the brake run after traversing 2,700 feet of track. Now, Excalibur, it was an absolute banger. This is, in my opinion, one of the most underrated and not talked about wooden roller coasters in the United States. And as far as CCIs go, I'm going to try to offer some comparisons. So I feel like this is the lateral machine at times, like the Legend at Holiday World. I feel like it has a great first drop and has some amazing airtime moments, much like Raven at Holiday World. And that first drop, I don't know if it was reprofiled at some point to be a steeper angle, but at that 58-degree pitch in PTC trains, opposed to a more modernized Intamin train like El Toro, or a more modernized RMC style train, this is just an old classic wooden roller coaster train, and it makes it feel that much steeper and that much more intense. We'll see where this ends up ranking at the end of the year, but man, this is one that is going to skyrocket. Finally, one of my monumental coaster occasions is topped off with a cherry, and I actually get an amazing find and a great wooden roller coaster. Do I recommend you making the drive to Funtown Splashtown, USA? Resounding yes. If you have the opportunity and you have the means, please make the trip to Funtown Splashtown, USA. You will not regret that decision, because it's not just Funtown Splashtown, guys. Within just a few minutes, we were on the beach experiencing some of the best, most fresh and delicious seafood we've ever had in our lives. That whole strip was one lobster claw, and it was cooked to perfection. Absolutely exquisite. That's probably worth a video on its own. But these beaches, they were beautiful, they were clean, just absolutely beautiful and pristine. And this in particular stretch of beach is directly next to Palace Playland. And it's one of those classic New England beachfront parks, much like the parks that you'll find down in New Jersey and on the West Coast. And they do have a pretty cool Preston and Barbary here that is worth riding. But guys, we several months ago also created an X account, so that's at ClayPRC. If you could follow us, we would really appreciate that. And additionally, we've recognized that over 91% of the folks that are watching the content on the channel, you guys are not subscribed. If you could, please help us out with the social contract where it costs you nothing to support us, and in exchange, we continue making great content for you. Subscribing to the channel, turning on notifications, and liking each video is the best way to support us and the channel. And guys, I gotta tell you, it has been such a thrill sharing this journey, not just with my family, but with you as well. And I hope that you continue with us on the road to 600. As always, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, guys, we'll see you out there.